Good morning, this is Jack from Charting the Markets, and this is the pre-market webinar for the morning of Friday, the 26th of September. My disclaimer, I do this for educational purposes only. I'm here to share my technical analysis with you. I hope you can take some of what I'm doing, learn from it, transfer it to your own charts. I'm not here to issue trading signals. This is a video for paying subscribers at chartingthemarkets.substack.com, and it's published on YouTube after a delay of 24 hours. All right, we've seen I was looking for a nice little decline this week. We've seen it. We're now coming to the end of the bearish looking tape. We've actually got a bullish leaning day today, about 66%, so fairly bullish leaning, slightly bullish leaning on Monday, and then we've got a clearly bearish leaning day on Tuesday, which closes down about 66% of the time. And S&P down of the 18 of the last 27. After that, we're mainly looking at bullish tape. We've got some bearish days in October, but Wednesday and Friday next week are both strongly bullish. Well, I mean, Wednesday is modestly bullish, only about 62%. Friday is strongly bullish at about 71%. And then majority of days up until the last few days of October are bullish rather than bullish leaning rather than bearish. Doesn't mean we can't see some retracements in that period, but obviously, historically, it just makes it less likely. Am I seeing much reason to think we'll see a big retrace here? Well, we'll come to that on the bigger picture charts, but let's have a look at the futures first, where we had a 60-minute buy signal at the low on ES yesterday, and that's playing out at the moment. Hasn't made target yet. We're testing the weekly pivot as resistance. NQ, we didn't have a buy signal at the low yesterday. If you're thinking these could all be bull flags, you're right. They could all be bull flags. It's and it maybe will go directly to the highs, or alternatively, if we're looking at an ABC here, ABC, then we're in the B-side rally, and then we'll see another leg down, and then chances are that will be it. NQ, back above the weekly pivot. RTY, obviously we broke down here from a double top with a target area which we haven't reached yet, and it's quite a nice target area because it's a nice support level. I'm still thinking we may make that, but for the moment we are bouncing. YM, we've got 6-minute buy signal. That's getting close to the possible near miss target. We're back over the weekly pivot. I'm really expecting to see the buy signals on ES and YM make target today in all probability, and then we'll see what happens. DAX, this is pretty decent looking overall falling wedge actually, so I'm wondering about a possible retest of the low coming, but I have to say overall this is looking kind of bullish after that. ESTX, we've got a nice looking double top, tried to break down yesterday. I am wondering if this is a possible alternate head and shoulders falling, but we might just go back and retest the high, set up a slightly larger double top, which then may or may not play out. All right, let's have a look at the bigger picture charts. So bear with me a moment, just open those up. Sorry, slight delay here because I'm managing some memory issues and I haven't got more memory yet, so I'm just being slightly cautious with what I've got open until then. All right, we didn't get any sell signals at the high. We had divergence, we went through it, we've come back and we've tested the daily middle band on ES and we've tested it on SPX. That really is the first big target for any retracement. We may or may not get any further down from that. It wouldn't be that unusual. We have actually managed to get below it for a day or two here. So it wouldn't be that unusual if we break below it, but really I'm not expecting, certainly looking at the historical stats, I'm not expecting to see anything more than the momentary break here. And in the event that we do see that, then I'll mainly be looking at the 50 DMA at 64.82 as backstop support. So maybe another 100 points down. I'm not expecting the 50 DMA to break, but we are overdue a full test. We got an almost test there, but really that hasn't been tested since we broke up above again in May. Looking at Qs, this has been the strongest, so we haven't got a test of the daily middle band here on Qs. Still waiting to see how that develops. I'm thinking we could see a full test next week if we see another leg down, which is a maybe. One thing to mention on the SPX hourly chart is we've got a possible RSI 14 buy signal brewing here on the RSI 14, and we've got an RSI 5 buy signal fixed. But we don't have many of these. It's kind of like the futures. We've got a couple, but it's not really a full quorum. No divergence on the Qs chart. Not much on the 15 minutes either. Dire, we've come back and tested the daily middle band. We're still on an RSI 14 sell signal there. And we could I'm not actually. I'm wondering whether this is going to go much higher in any case. I think we might well see that if we see another leg up on equities, that it's mainly about tech. We'll see how that goes. We've got a possible RSI 5 buy signal brewing here too. And we saw a break below this rising support trend line. This could turn into a larger decline. It's just that I'm not really seeing much indication that that's going to be the case. So I tend to work with what I'm looking at, and I'm not really seeing that at the moment. So in the event that we start forming larger patterns and things start looking more encouraging, then obviously we'll be talking about that then. But until then, I'm not really seeing that as particularly likely. Let's have a look at the IWM chart. IWM, we have again tested the daily middle band a little more aggressively here. Of course, IWM is the one which tends to respond most to interest rate changes, and the slide this week was caused by casting doubt over whether there would be more interest rate cuts this year. Looking at the 60-minute chart, no current positive divergence. We've got possible larger topping patterns here. We could form an IHS here, for instance, or retest the high and set up a double top. But as I said, there's not much in terms of the historical stats suggesting there's much more downside to be had. Looking at the DAX chart, obviously we've been holding below the daily middle band. I'm thinking I'd love to see another retest of this low, set up a little level bottom. But if we break above that, then we could start a move which would take us back up into the highs. Looking at Nikkei, Nikkei has been stalled at the rising resistance, wedge resistance that I posted a few days ago, but at the moment it's not been declining. We've got a little negative divergence on the daily RSI 5, but it's not really enough to be basing anything on. Nice trend line. If we had more trend lines being hit like this, I'd take it more seriously, but at the moment we don't. All right, let's have a look at, let's have a quick look at KC first, because I know Wen wants to talk about that. So hang on, wait a second. Bear with me a moment. All right, let's have a look at the hourly chart first. And hourly chart, we've come down, we've tested the monthly pivot, we've rejected back off that, and we've got a 60-minute buy signal which has reached a possible near miss target. I am wondering about a possible IHS which is either formed and is now starting to break up, or another a better right shoulder might form. But I am wondering about a retest of this high here in the 424 area. So we will see how that goes. Looking at the bigger picture charts. I've got to say, I'm still leaning. I still quite like the idea of seeing a retest of this high here at 4.408. We may not see it, but I'm wondering about it. We have got a weak RSI 5 sell signal which is fixed. That is suggesting we might see more downside. We're holding the daily middle band at the moment. That was on the weekly chart. On the daily chart, we've got an RSI 14 sell signal fixed, and the RSI 5 sell signal is now made target. The weekly middle band, we're holding as support. Daily middle band, we're below, and looks like we're back testing. I am wondering about a possible move up to retest 4.408. But at the moment, I would note that we've still got an RSI 14 sell signal fixed and it hasn't made target. It may be that we've got a bit more downside to come, but we're holding the main support at the weekly middle band. You can see this tends to act as pretty good trendline support, although we had a hell of a move below it before it closed the week above here. I'm assuming that will hold today. If that's the case, then that still looks like pretty solid support unless we see a real break. As long as that lasts, I'm wondering about a retest this high here at 4.408. All right, let's have a look at DX. DX, obviously, I wrote a post yesterday talking about the possible major low here. Welcome, one. So we'll see how that goes. In the short term, no current negative divergence, and I don't really see a nice reversal pattern here. I'm wondering if we might see a bit of a reversal and see how that goes in terms of setting up an IHS right shoulder. Looking at the currency pairs, they're all looking pretty interesting this morning, apart from really USD, which just looks as though it might have a bull flag forming here. On GBP USD, we've got possible 6-minute buy signal brewing, it's close to fixing. USD JPY, we've got possible 6-minute sell signal brewing and it's close to fixing. USD CAD, We've got a sell signal which is probably going to fix in about 5 minutes. On Australian dollar, we've got a buy signal which is likely to fix in a few minutes. NZUSD, we're already on a buy signal. I am wondering about a pullback on DX here, and that could give me the right shoulder that I would ideally like to see here. And then give us an opportunity to go back higher. On the bigger picture, we've got a nice looking double top here already. And that's one thing I was writing about yesterday. ZB, we've obviously broken down and we've made it to the first double of the double top targets. We made that yesterday. We got a possible double bottom here. I'm wondering about a possible retest of this high. We'll see. ZN, we had a buy signal and we lost that yesterday. But that doesn't mean we're not going to see a break up, and this does look kind of like a bull flag forming. CL, we're in a range, basically 61 to 65.5, and here we are at the top of the range. Now, the question is, are we going to break down? That looks modestly encouraging. We're not seeing an awful lot on CL here, but HO, we've got a 6-minute sell signal fix, and I've got a nice trend line I drew in before it was hit yesterday, which has now been hit twice since. That could hold. This could be a little level top. We will see, but that looks encouraging for reversal. RBOB, we've got a nice looking little level top here. NG, I'm wondering whether this is making the low where we would be heading up a buck or so in the next couple of months in this strong seasonal period. And I'm looking at this as a potential level bottom. We will see. GC, this looks like a little bull flag forming. SI, we've still got a 6-minute sell signal fixed and it's still going up. As I've been saying, the obvious next target would be a retest of the all-time high at 49.51. Palladium could be having a bit of a break up here, and on platinum, even more the case. We got through some pretty serious resistance to get up to here, and I've got a possible IHS on the bigger picture, which is breaking up. I'm thinking this could be a breakout on platinum, and that we might see a lot more upside, and we might see the same on palladium too. HG, this still looks like a bear flag. We had this little spike on a mine problem, but I think sooner or later this is likely to come back and retest this low at 4.38. Not terribly exciting as and when it does, but you know, it's that's what we've got. KC, just I've talked about already. SB, SB, this could be an IHS forming. We're about to see a right shoulder form, or it could be that we've got an IHS here already and it's starting to break up. I'm kind of leaning towards the second of those views, but I'll be having a better look this weekend and deciding which one I prefer. But I think this is likely an IHS which is breaking up. If so, I'm thinking we could be seeing the next move up to this trend line here and potentially to this double bottom resistance. I'm liking sugar on the upside, and I'm thinking this could go up an awful lot. And I've been talking about this on the bigger picture. CC, still thinking we'll probably retest this low here. I've got this nice looking falling wedge here, which is making the setup here on CC look a lot more bullish than it was. CT, still wondering about a retest of this low. Lumber, the buy signal made target. We never broke up from the double bottom. We may not. Bigger picture, we've got a double top which is broken down with a target a long way down from here. CW, wondering about a double bottom here. 60-minute sell signal fixed, but not really delivered a great deal so far. Corn, we had a little level. We've got a bigger IHS here, and it's a nice one with the target in the 441 area. We have this little level top breakdown, but at the moment it looks like that's failing. I think we might just resume the path up to 441. On soy, kind of looks like a bear flag forming, setting up a retest of this low at the moment. 60-minute buy signal fixed on ZL. Kind of looks like a bear flag too. 60-minute buy signal has reached a possible near miss target. Live cattle. This isn't a flag because we broke that, but I don't know. At the moment, we're going sideways. I'm leaning towards this being a bullish consolidation. On HE, we reached, well, we didn't quite reach the trend line here, but we didn't need to because we reached it here. The obvious next target within this megaphone, if the megaphone is going to survive, is this megaphone support currently in about the 85.9 area. And that is what I'm leaning towards seeing made. All right, great. Let's have a quick look at questions. No, I think that's a wrap. In that case, everyone have a great weekend. I'll see you again on Monday. And obviously, I'll be covering these in more detail on the bigger picture on Sunday. Everyone take care.